Hi everyone, welcome back. We are talking about another Impressionist painter today, Mr. Edgar Degas, and I'm going to be telling you guys fun facts while trying to recreate one of his pieces called Dancer Adjusting Her Shoe, and let's see how that goes. All right, let's get into some fun facts about Edgar Degas. So he is actually one of my favorite artists ever, and he was an artist during the Impressionist movement, and he shared a lot of their similarities in style and things like that, but he actually did not consider himself an impressionist. He didn't like painting outdoors. He wanted to be inside. He wanted to create his compositions. He actually called himself a realist or an independent because he actually cared about like structure and line rather than like fleeting moment. But because he also was not a traditionalist painter or a traditionalist artist like a lot of the artists in Paris were at the time, he also was not getting into the famous salon with all of his work. So he exhibited a lot of his art with the Impressionists, and he just kind of got lumped in with them. He did share this same goal of wanting to capture regular modern life. So he didn't paint any of like the biblical or mythological scenes. He also had like a similar technique to everybody else. He used these loose brush strokes and bright colors and different angles and natural light. And even though he created his pieces differently than most typical Impressionist style, he still had those same elements that a lot of them shared, and so he really was just kind of bunched in with them. But I just always think that's funny to think about because like he is so monumental in the Impressionism movement, but like he didn't even think he was one. And how crazy is that? So Degas loved ballerinas and he loved horses. So a lot of the stuff that you will see from him is of ballerinas and horses. He also was pretty interesting where like he was a mixed media artist before that was a really big thing. So he would put like pastel over prints or pastel over paint. He was a fantastic painter, but then like a fantastic pastel artist, but then he also made sculptures and those are beautiful as well. And the things that he did with pastel were so cool because at the time they were just using them to sketch, but he would actually take them and layer and blend with them, and he would use them to make texture in his paintings, which at the time wasn't really like a thing, and I think that that's really cool. He also loved movement, so that's one of those things that kind of grouped him in with the Impressionists. Is he would go and watch these ballerinas and he would watch them stretch and he would watch them move and adjust their costumes and when they were rehearsing, and he would capture those moments, so those real moments of them doing actual movement. Like he highlighted all of those natural gestures and you could see that in a lot of his pieces. And something that I think is fantastic stylistically, and this is something that I try to do as well if I can, I think it creates fantastic focal points, is that he muted his backgrounds. If there were even a background at all, like it would be dull and there wouldn't be a lot going on, and it brought out these figures that he would draw, these natural amazing figures that he would use for his pieces, and he would use color so strategically to really just make them pop. Even if it was just a little bit of color, he would use it, and he was so deliberate with all of that. It's crazy. He's fantastic. And he would use dramatic lighting too to create these huge contrasts, and that's why some of his stuff is drawn or painted from different angles. It's so that he would kind of move around and see where the stage lighting would hit the ballerinas or hit the dancers to make them look the most dramatic or to emphasize parts of them that he really liked. And it just fantastic, like absolutely fantastic. a lot of his work was the human figure, which is also like kind of funny because he was known for being like kind of rude and sarcastic and just like unfriendly and like not supportive of like other fellow artists, but like people loved him because he was a genius. He captured the human figure so well, like better than really anybody I have seen. And it's just so crazy because for someone who admired the human figure so much, like he had poor rapport with other people, and I just think that that's funny. Like he never married. People think that it was because he was obsessed with his work, which is another thing about him, is that he was also kind of this perfectionist. He was known for going back and changing paintings or changing pieces like way after he had done them. He was also considered this art hoarder. He didn't sell a lot of pieces during his time. I don't know if he even sold all of them. Whenever he died, they found thousands and thousands of paintings and drawings and sculptures in his studio. Like he kept all of them. No one really knows why. It's just he never thought that they were good enough, which is also like kind of sad and like kind of hurts my feelings a little bit. But I don't know. He's just such an interesting character. He's so interesting. And I don't know if anybody else has heard this, but there's this like really just strange rumor about him being Jack the Ripper, which they were from completely different parts of France, but they were happening at the same time, and like people wanted to assume it was him because he was just a grumpy old man and he didn't like women that much, even though he drew them all the time. And like, I don't know, it was just kind of he is just crazy. Like he is crazy, and I talk about him and I just think he's funny, and I think that his style is fantastic, like inspiring almost, and it's so moving. And you can see in all of his pieces there's this real focus on movement. And I mean, if you see his list and his lineup of pieces, he has hundreds that are just unfinished, or that just look like unfinished sketches, but all of them are fantastic. He has such a way about him that is so artistic, and I don't know if this is going to make sense, but you like can really tell when somebody is an artist, and he he's a genius. And yeah, that's my little rant about Degas. I think he's fantastic. I love him. All right, everybody, that was some fun facts about Edgar Degas, and this is my recreation of his ballerina adjusting her shoe. I had a lot of fun doing this one. Edgar Degas is my favorite Impressionist artist. He is fantastic. I spent a lot of my time as an artist studying him and studying his technique and his practice, and this whole deep dive of the theory of him being Jack the Ripper, all of that. I think he is fantastic. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys learned something. Now, we post new videos every Tuesday and Thursday. Follow us on all our social media sites that are linked below in the description. Like and subscribe to see more, and we will see you guys next time. Okay, bye!